Are the horrifying rumors true? Has Oliver Queen truly forsaken his friends and family in the superhero community in service of Amanda Waller? And if so, what will it mean for the Absolute Power event? Well, let's hop into the pages of Green Arrow issue number 14 and find out what happens next together, shall we? Alrighty then, so if you've been paying attention to the bigger Absolute Power event, you know that everything is going to hell in a handbasket across the DC universe. Amanda Waller has seemingly declared war on superpowered individuals all over the known world, powering them with the help of her legion of Amazo robots. Roy Harper and the rest of the assembled Arrow family actually managed to miss the worst of these initial attacks because they've been hidden away on Arrow Island having something of a vacation. Of course, dampening the mood right now is that Ollie isn't with them right now, and that is because seemingly Green Arrow has done the unthinkable and turned to the dark side, helping Waller in her war against the heroes. The likes of Batman and Nightwing don't fully believe this turn, but at the same time they know that this is all very un-Ollie-like. He's calling things very close to the chest. And it's too early to tell one way or another if he can be trusted. Roy and the others naturally want to get their heads in the game and help out any way they can, but Bruce has other ideas. Fearing that Green Arrow's involvement might be part of a much bigger conspiracy than any of them could imagine, Batman thinks that it might be best if the team stay put for the moment. Not knowing if Ollie is watching them or if he'll attempt to make contact at some point, Nightwing also backs Batman, figuring that if things should go as bad as they fear, then it might not be a bad idea to keep the Arrow family in reserve. After all, they have no amazing meta abilities to be stolen away by Amazos. Arsenal agrees at first, but of course he has no intention of actually keeping this promise to Nightwing or Batman, especially when he has such a major case of skin in the game right now. Moreover, Arsenal actually has a pretty good idea to try and take the fight to Waller. If she's using the Amazos as her ace in the hole, then they should very simply track down the original Amazos creator, Dr. Ivo, and beat on him until he agrees to help them one way or another. To do this, the Arrow family makes use of the new and improved Arrow Cave. It seems that Ollie didn't just take his family here for a one-off vacation, he was actually putting the finishing touches on this place before he seemingly went rogue. And hey, speaking of, at the end of the last issue, you'll remember that Connor Hawke, Ollie's son, had actually taken up the Green Arrow mantle once again in a symbolic show of good faith. Well, everyone else is kind of given a wait-and-see approach. Connor refuses to believe that his father could ever possibly be bad, and in a nice bit of characterization, it's actually Mia who decides to look after his feelings. By very astutely realizing that the last time Connor Hawke was forced to become Green Arrow, it was after his father died. Now his dad is alive, just, he might be bad. Obviously, Connor still has a lot of abandonment issues when it comes to his father that he's desperately trying to work with, and well, if Ollie really is doing all the bad stuff that the other heroes are saying, this could just break his poor damn heart forever. Now, where is Ollie right now? Well, he's at the Hall of Sovereignty alongside his brand new compatriot, Bright. You might actually remember this guy from a couple arcs ago. He's one of the supervillains that Waller had recruited from across the multiverse. He knows who Oliver is, but Ollie has no idea who this guy is under the mask. Bright also seems to think that Waller is crazy for giving Green Arrow all the leeway he has inside the bad guy's base right now, and has vowed to watch him like a hawk. The plot thickens, and while we're on the subject of hawks too, Connor is also sure to mention in this issue that if Ollie truly did break bad, then why did he go out of his way to protect Roy and his daughter during their thrilling jailbreak in the last issue? And hey, speaking of which, they busted out Cheshire, who's actually able to use her underworld supervillain connections to smoke out where Ivo has been hiding this whole time. It seems that the underworld loves money more than they fear Amanda Waller. Ivo, of course, takes up a defensive position the second the heroes get there. The good doctor might not love Amanda Waller and what he's done with his life's work. In fact, Ivo calls it a complete and total bastardization of his own quest for scientific perfection. But as it stands right now, he'd still rather die than help the heroes. Here's the surprise twist though, Ivo's not alone. No, he didn't rebuild himself a brand new Amazo, quite the opposite. It would seem that he's currently working on trying to rebuild the Tomorrow Woman, an old creation from the Grant Morrison years of Justice League. This lady thought she was a psychic hero, when in reality she was another evil sleeper agent created by Ivo and his frequent collaborator, Tio Mora. The Tomorrow Woman is turned loose on the good guys, who, in a nice bit of meta writing, even they themselves have to stop and think, geez, when was the last time we saw this woman? 97? Was it 52? Was it the Trinity tie? And we can't remember. Using her mental abilities, the Tomorrow Woman is able to put a stop to the Arrow family's pursuit of Dr. Ivo. He manages to get out with the use of a very fun dune buggy, only for Ivo himself to be intercepted by Bright, who claims that he's here to save him, and honestly, that might be a fate worse than death given the situation. This also means as the comic comes to a close, the only two people who haven't actually been captured and who might be able to help turn the tide in this battle is none other than Cheshire and her daughter Leanne, who stayed back. And so that was Green Arrow issue number 14, everybody, and if you couldn't tell, I really enjoyed this one. This issue actually does a really solid job building on everything that came before, while also being one of the meatier tie-ins to Absolute Power overall. Is Green Arrow really evil? Is he acting as a double, maybe even triple agent for Waller? Who is this mysterious new Bright villain, and why do they have such a particular narc on for Green Arrow? More than anything though, what I particularly like about this issue is how it ends up being a super strong character piece. I love Connor putting the weight of the world on his shoulders even though he shouldn't have to. I love Mia caring very deeply about him. I love Roy going against Nightwing and Batman's orders to do what he thinks is right for him and his family in this particular situation. Obviously, Joshua Williamson did some of the hardest heavy lifting to actually set up the events of Absolute Power here in the Green Arrow book, so it's nice that it's paying off and actually becoming one of the big books to read. And even if this does kind of end up becoming his swan song on the series, I think he'll end up going out on a very high note. Overall, I would give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Good stuff. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers. A lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.